Hey everybody, it's Lynn from A Bit of Birdsong. I've got to finish this journal up and put it on the shelf so I can move on to some different things. And I think I'm finished for now. I'm probably going to come back and add maybe sayings that come to me that I feel like would be appropriate for this. But I did want to share it before I put it on the shelf. I love these little strings on the outside, and I used really tiny beads on those binding threads. I think it is so pretty. I've never used beads so small on the outside, just as standalone beads. I've paired them with larger beads before, but I think these smaller strings really called for that, and I think it'll be pretty on the shelf. I also went back and added a couple of pieces of lace. I feel like it really helped make the front prettier, and I also added a tie closure with some velvet ribbon that I think is probably vintage. It looks like it's been folded in half for a long time, and it is just, oh, it's got the best feel. Maybe I said velvet. Now that I'm looking at it, I don't even think it's velvet. It's just really, really soft. And where it's been folded, you can see where it's frayed down the center. I do think this ribbon is vintage. I pulled out some artificial flowers that I have in these same colors, and I did end up adding some pink in. It started out with just the black and white photos, the metallic silvery paint, and that is Artist Loft from Michael's really inexpensive paint set with the metallic paints. I started out with only black thread to sew in the pictures and the flowers, but then I did add some pink, and I love this color palette, just the black, the white, the pink, and the silver. And there are more flowers. I just stitched across the top of those. Again, I do have some writing in, and this is just freehand in the shape of a heart. Different thoughts that I have. I put a gold leaf on this page and then some black flower petals on top. That's a picture of Jason and me. You've seen that before. That was at the beginning of our walk through the cemetery. I did also go back in and double the strength of the binding with this satin, no, silk. This is silk thread. I want it to hold up. I don't want, if that black string breaks, I don't want the pages to fall out. Be the change you want to see in the world, for in you there is power to start a change. Don't be afraid to let youth and change be your mentor, for time will flow, we all must go. Pray for us. Dark has power, light has power. What will you do with the two? Close your eyes. I love this dark red velvet flower petal on that image. Sleep, my dear. And then I did end up sewing this down. It was kind of a flap the way I had put it in. And there's some more dark flower petals, the black with the little beads in the center. Noir. Hang your head and cry. And we have the branch of flowers hanging down in front of the stone. Have you checked to see if you have wings? And then there is a little angel that I drew in. You saw that in the last video. And I used some water just to run the ink. I don't think I have one out here, but I love these really inexpensive R2 roller pens from the Dollar Tree. I love the way the ink runs. In the night, in the day, be not afraid. And of course that is black alcohol ink. I love using the alcohol ink in all sorts of projects. More flower petals. And that's a beautiful image. I wasn't crazy about the center of this flower. It was too bright, so I just dropped some black alcohol ink in the center of that. This stone says gone but not forgotten. And the date of death on that was 1915. So I just repeated the words up here. And that's an old cedar tree that's in the cemetery. It is pretty much dead. We noticed that it had a dream catcher hanging in it. And I can definitely add something to that page. This stone says, "And what doth the Lord require of thee but to do justly and to love mercy and to walk humbly with thy God. And then this page, there is some matte medium and white acrylic paint and black alcohol ink, and there are just some petals, some real petals that are dropped in there. And that is a picture of a button that I found pressed in the sand in front of one of the stones. This is a really large petal, and it's kind of stiff. It differs a little from the others, but I think it's okay here. Just gonna leave it. And then on this last page, we have these metal clips holding the image into place. I did put a leaf under there, and I like the way you can just slip a piece of lace right onto these prongs. Put my stamp in the back there. So that is that. It's going onto the shelf. Thank you, those of you who ordered the photos, the cemetery photos. There were some actual printed orders and also some downloads. Thank you for the feedback on that and for ordering those. Always feel free to let me know if something's not right or if you're disappointed with anything. I definitely want to make that right. So this is going on the shelf, and it is time to move on to some packs. I'll be back really soon. Bye for now.